Hello, magic makers. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Sagittarius is your sun, moon, or rising, this reading is for you. A transmission through the Serpent Gate, a page in the Codex, and perhaps a message you are meant to remember. Now, before we begin, please light the fire and hit the like button. Every like you leave is a torch lit along the spiral road. Every comment is a sigil etched into the vault of echoes. And if this message resonates, consider subscribing and joining our journey through the temple. If there is anything you wish for me to hold in light or carry into the temple with you, prayer, protection, or intention, speak it below. Now, these readings are not predictions, they are transmissions, and I am merely the messenger. The meaning is yours to uncover. Open the temple within and listen for what echoes back, because the most important part of any tarot reading is you. We start with 5 of Wands. This is a very fiery card, obviously. You are someone right now with, I think, like a lot of vision, you know? I feel like you have an ambition to you. Yeah. I feel like you're understanding that it's okay to assert yourself. It's okay to advocate for yourself and to push forward. I feel like there's something that is kind of like you're working hard on something. There's something that is expanding in your life, or you're trying to expand. You're trying to push the walls outward, you know? I feel like there's a big vision for you. And I think that you're somebody that isn't shying away from the hard work. Like, you're ready. You wake up in the morning, and as soon as you can drag yourself out of bed, you're ready, you know? Maybe you need a little coffee or something like that, but you're excited, it feels like. Okay? You're excited to face the day and to see whatever challenges the day offers. You're ready to face those challenges. You don't shy away. You don't avoid conflict. You don't avoid any kind of challenge. I feel like you're not out there looking for it. I like this card because it's a 5 of Wands, right? It's Saturn in Leo. So this is kind of talking about your ability to use the gas pedal. It's all about dynamics. You know when to push, you know when to run forward, and you sort of know when to rest. Yeah. And I feel there's a lot of heat. Okay, I feel that as, you know, at least in the northern hemisphere, the weather's starting to get a little colder. But I feel like you're kind of ramping up. You're generating your own heat from inside of you. Yeah. So it feels like it's coming through as ambition or creativity, or just kind of like we're picking up the pace on something. Yeah. Let's put this card into a little bit of context. Okay. We're going to use our Dove and Serpent spread. There we have, the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, there is a bigger vision calling you forward. I think there's new opportunities that are helping you to expand and push beyond your kind of normal limits. Yeah, it's very good. Here we have the Emperor. Yes, this is exactly the Emperor kind of work here. We see an 8 of Cups in the background. We see a Princess of Wands. See this pillar of fire. You are this pillar of fire right now. There's a restlessness that you're kind of turning into creative action. Yeah. And in the future position, we have a very satisfied Queen of Cups. So there's a dissatisfaction here, right? And then, well, you're doing something about it, whatever it is. You know, let's say this is somebody who just doesn't feel good in their body, right? You know, the health-wise, they're not feeling so well. Well, you take action. You take all that restless energy, you take all that frustration, you take all that emotion, and you sort of sublimate it. It becomes fuel, and then you become very satisfied. You're changing your kind of emotional relationship with reality, with your intention. You're doing it. Okay. Well, let's see what else is going on. We have the Universe. We have the Temperance card, your superpower card. That's your ability to enter the pressure cooker. Okay, you are laying yourself down on the blacksmith's anvil, and you are allowing yourself to change, and I think you are also changing the world around you. Yeah, here we have, wow, okay, that is the Queen of Wands. That's your other superpower card. So, got to ring the bell again. That's extraordinary. I think this is really significant. I think something amazing is coming into your life. And there's the Seven of Pentacles. You are having an effect on the physical environment, right? You're able to take what is, see, we have the Eight of Cups and the Seven of Pentacles. You're able to take what you're not happy about in the physical world, and you're doing something about it. This card then becomes the discipline. We have Saturn here, we have Saturn here. Okay, so there is this, and well, you got Saturn here, so a lot, big Saturn influence for you. And you know what else? The universe card is also Saturn. Saturn and Earth, right? Every card has, kind of, planetary and astrological associations, right? And this one is Saturn and Earth. So it's a lot of fiery discipline for you right now that is going to change your, not only how you feel about life, but change the way life looks. I feel like a bigger vision is calling you forward. Okay, new opportunities are that you take advantage of these new opportunities because they're giving you a chance, opening a door. Spirit, this is a gift. This is a ticket to ride. Okay, Spirit's giving you an opportunity to push past your limits, to expand. There's a restlessness that I feel in you that you're turning into creativity. Okay. And I think for you, growth really does require that you find out what your limit is, find out what the edge of your comfort zone is, and you push the walls. That's why I feel like you're pushing the walls outward in your life right now. That's amazing. Abundance for you is going to come when you say yes to risk. Okay? I think allies are showing up in your life because you're walking toward adventure. Spirit is going to put the right people, places, and things on your path when and where you need them, because you're bold enough to take that risk. Okay? I think you're inspired right now. And as a little piece of homework, I want you to write one desire that you have. What is the thing that you want? And I think this is something that you want for you. This is your growth. This is your expansion. It's something that has to do with your health or your finances, right? Your physical fitness, your financial fitness, and your emotional relationship to yourself. I feel like there's this effort to I want to do something for me that makes me feel like I've done something, like I've accomplished something. So what is that desire? Write it down. Set it down near the window. Okay? Your horizon is wider than you imagine. This is big, and I think that you are pushing the walls infinitely outward right now with your energy. Now, what I want to do is draw the hidden key from the codex, the unseen cipher, the one truth yet unrevealed. This is a card pulled at random, a fragment of the codex beyond the known spread. It represents the factor infinite and unknown, what the watchers have not yet allowed us to see. And we are going to set it down right over here with Bubo, the mechanical owl, right there on top. We're not going to look at that hidden key until the end of the transmission. But when we do, it will bring all the threads together, confirm the prophecy, and close the current page of the codex. If you feel the pulse of intuition, if the dove current is whispering to you, tell me what you sense. Leave a comment. What do you think that hidden key will reveal? Well, let's look around the room. We see these three major arcana energies. We see the Emperor taking the leadership. Realize this is all about the assertive drive right now. Okay? We've been talking a lot about the drives, the human drives, human motivations, right? There's the creative drive, and the generative drive, the spiritual drive. There's the assertive or the aggressive or the sovereign drive, and then there's the pleasure drive or the emotional drive, right? Right now, this is about the assertive drive. This is about you feeling the power in yourself, and just like a flame, you are just kind of you are rising, okay? And you're growing and you are expanding. I feel like maybe you're stepping into some kind of a leadership role, but you're taking the leadership of your own life. Basically, when you're in an Eight of Cups, it's very much a card that could say, woe is me. And a lot of us, we spend some time saying, woe is me, right? I know I do. We all do. But then the Emperor comes in and says, not anymore. I'm going to do something about it. If I don't like it, I'm going to change it. If I don't feel good about some aspect of my life, I'm going to change it. I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to lock in. I'm going to start the engine. I'm going to light the fire. And I'm going to change it, whatever it takes, you know? And I think that really is your superpower over here. The Art or Temperance card, your ability to enter the pressure cooker and allow yourself to be changed and transformed. So what it seems is like you're putting yourself into challenging situations. You're finding the point at which you fail. And then you're gonna go right up, you're gonna keep hitting that wall. You're gonna keep pushing that wall out and out and out. Most of us don't know what our limits are. I don't know how far I could run before I just can't run anymore. Because I'll run a little bit and I'll say, I'm tired. You know, I'm not a runner right now. Maybe one day. And so my wife, on the other hand, she's riding the bike like 20 miles a day. So she's finding her limit and she's going past it. Now she's inspiring me. Hopefully I'll get back on that bicycle soon. I need to. But that's sort of the pressure cooker, right? Putting yourself into a situation where it's not fun. It's not a bowl of ice cream and a burrito in a bathtub, right? It's work. It's hard. It challenges you. It makes your muscles hurt. You know, it makes you tired. Yeah. But that's what the pressure cooker's for. It's a situation where you are challenging and testing yourself. And I think by doing that, you're able to continue to push the walls out. Your horizon, right, keeps expanding here with this universe card. So a lot of fiery energy today, right? Even the major arcana, the Aries and the Sagittarius, fire cards, obviously, right? We have fire, fire, fire. Water and water on other side here. And we have earth, earth, and of course the world or universe is an earthy card. It's Earth and Saturn, okay? What we don't have right now is air. Why? Because you're not whining about it. You're not doubting it. You're not questioning it. You don't need a plan. The plan is go until I can't go anymore, rest a while, and go again. It's simple. You know, your approach to life right now is very simple, and I think something just absolutely amazing is happening in your life. The walls are being pushed outward, and it feels extraordinary. So this is your station card. This is the first card. This is where you are in the spiral road right now. Spirit is telling you, keep your foot on the gas. Don't go too fast, don't go too slow, but keep moving. This is the five-fingered hand that reaches out into life and does what it wants, takes what it wants. Not in a mean way, of course, but, you know, it has that assertive drive and says, I can do something. I don't have to just sit here, sit on my hands and wait for something to happen. I'm out here shining my light. I'm out here as a fire and I'm burning bright. And I feel like you're an inspiration. I feel like other people see you sweat and they think, I want to do that. If I could do that. Well, yeah, everyone can do it. That's the point. Everybody could. But not everybody does. You are the one who is doing something now. The five, right? You're doing it. Whatever it is, I think it's something physical or financial. It has to do with manifestation. You're manifesting something that is out of this world. Whether it's your physical health and fitness, maybe you're on a new kind of health kick. Give me a little bit of that fire, please. Or it's something financial. Maybe you're grinding away. You're saying, I'm going to put in the extra hours at work. I'm going to see how much, how much you can produce or create or how much you can get done. I think you're really pushing the boundaries here for yourself. Yeah. And that seems to be your station on the spiral road. This is where you are. Spirit's telling you to push. This is the pulse of the present moment. It's not always going to be this way, okay? Especially since you have the Queen of Cups in the future. The second card is the Ace of Pentacles. This is the battle. This is the force pressed against you. The challenge, the test. This is where your fire meets with the earth, right? And this is either do you resist or do you push? Because everything that you're doing right now isn't about this big, huge leap you're taking. You're not leaping a tall building in a single bound or anything like that. At least I don't think you are. Maybe you got some special shoes or something. What you're doing is you're just taking that next step. And in that fiery world of yours where you're sweating and exhausted doing whatever it is you're doing, it's like you ask yourself, can I take one more step? Yeah, I can take one more step. Can you take one more? I can take one more step. And you keep doing that, and pretty soon you've traveled or you've ridden 20 miles on the bike until you kind of say, no, I can't. That's as far as I can go. You know, in a way, it's almost like you're lifting weights to failure. You ever hear that? For a while, I didn't know what that meant. What does that mean? You lift weights till failure. Now I understand. Okay, you lift weights until your arm just won't do it. No matter how much your willpower is there to try to get it to do it, it just doesn't work anymore. Okay, and that's when you sit down and that's when you have to rest. Okay, you're doing so. If that is what you're doing it safely and responsibly under medical supervision and all that good stuff. Okay, of course you are. But see, that's kind of like, that's the step that we're taking, because then we know, okay, that's my absolute limit. That's as far as I can go with that. And then you pull back, okay? But the Ace of Pentacles is always that next step. And this is really that invitation. Spirit's giving you this, the opportunities to push yourself past your existing limits. And this is a ticket to ride. This is Spirit literally giving a gift to you, saying you can do it if you want. Whatever it is, okay? Whether it's putting in the extra hours, practicing your guitar, or learning that new skill, or studying that course, or whatever it is, doing the homework, doing the math homework. Maybe you're in the kitchen, like trying to figure out your recipes and stuff. I don't know. I don't know what you're doing. Maybe you're working on building your business. Okay? Right now is a time of pushing. It's saying, like, don't take a lot of time off, and don't just say, I'm just going to relax today. Spirit's giving, every moment is a gift. Here's 1 minute in your day. What are you going to do with it? I think in the very present tense, you're pushing. You're going to say, if I have a minute, I'm going to put that minute into the business, or into my health, or into, maybe this is about you kind of, spending time with family. I don't know, trying to build up your family or your bond or your relationship with somebody. It's putting in that kind of effort rather than falling backwards into the Eight of Cups and that woe is me, and saying, well, I wish something would change. Something, in the Eight of Cups, something will never change. Yeah, something will never change. And well, let's talk about this. This is the chain. This is the fourth position in the Dove and Serpent spread. I know we skipped 3. We'll get to 3, but this is the chain. This is the really that kind of that hopelessness that's sort of clutching onto you. Okay, the inherited pattern. This is the karmic weight. This is the old story, and it's that old woe was me story. Okay, so this is anything at any time in your life. Have you ever felt like this is just the way it is, and nothing's ever going to be different? Sometimes when I've had health trouble over the years, and sometimes you have those moments where you just say, "I'm never going to feel better. This is us hopeless." At some point we just say, "Well, there's no point even in exercising because I'm never going to get in shape." I feel like this is something that you said, no more. You broke this chain. Okay, maybe this happened quite recently, but I think it still kind of nags at you. This is a past, energy that is still lingering in your life. It's still tugging at you a little bit. Okay, because I think we all can be this person sometimes, and it's just a matter of how much do we listen to this person? How much do we hear this voice and kind of and succumb to it? That woe is me, nothing will ever change kind of voice. Yeah. I think that you're recognizing this, okay, and you're doing something about it, because this is something that you don't want to exist in this state. This is an emotional state, almost like kind of accepting something as inevitable, of accepting something as kind of being hopeless, that there's no possibility that things can get better. It's a pessimism. It's a pity party. But right now, your fire is absolutely burning this away. It doesn't mean that this can't haunt you at some point, though, too, okay? Because it can. So I feel like we try to break the chain for this, but we know that this sometimes will catch up to us. So we don't want to ever feel like we've completely gotten rid of it. Now, for position 3 under the surface, this is your soul, right? This is what your soul knows, even if you've forgotten. This is an echo from the temple that's saying, you have the power. You have the assertive, aggressive, autonomous, sovereign drive within you that can do it. The Emperor is the ultimate, assertive drive card. Yeah, the Devil card kind of represents all of the drives. I think it really represents the creative drive, but it kind of represents just drive as a general, as a general concept. This is very specifically the assertive drive, the sovereign drive, right? It's an emperor. The emperor basically says, if I will it, it will happen. If I will it, there will be a pathway to get it done. Okay, through all the delegates and things and whatever, all the different channels, But as that force inside of you, your soul knows that you have the power to change your life right now, that you have the power to push the walls outward, to expand your horizons, to expand your life. Okay? And I feel like it's probably something to do with your physical fitness or health or something like that, but I guess we could be talking about anything. We could be talking about the business or how much time, effort, energy, money, and space you're putting into anything. Okay? The 5 really is your power to determine, and the Emperor is the fortified ego, the one that's sort of facilitating this, comes from spirit, but it's going through your fortified ego that gets to say, am I investing more or less into that thing? Because that's the dynamics, remember, of the 5 of Wands. You can go more on the gas or less on the gas. Are you going to push harder now and invest more of your time, effort, energy, money, and space into whatever this thing is? At work, at home, at school, it's a personal relationship, it's your pets, it's your plants, it's your people. I don't know, it doesn't matter. Are you going to invest more or less right now? Okay, I think by the looks of it, you're investing more. You're going to put more time, effort, energy, money, and space into something or someone. Okay, and the Emperor really is that part of us that has to make that ultimate executive decision and actually do it, because the signal will come in from spirit. The captain will give the order, but what if the pilot doesn't execute the order? What if the captain says, let's go faster, but the pilot doesn't push the throttle? Well, they probably get court-martialed or something, right? They would get fired. So it's important that the fortified ego remain loyal to that higher purpose, okay? The creative drive, influencing the assertive drive. Because the assertive drive just wants to do whatever it wants. Sometimes it doesn't want to do anything. Sometimes it has power very, very high. Sometimes it just gets tired and that drive gets low. But when the creative drive says push, the assertive drive has to obey, has to push, because that's the person with their hand on the throttle that's going to push it forward. Or the foot on the gas, right? Whatever you're driving, I don't know. And so this is that part of you that knows that, even when you forget that you're the emperor, or you're the boss, you're the authority, that you're the fortified ego that can do this. Okay? This energy is here, echoing, bubbling up from within you, saying, we are responsible for this and we can do it. This is a card of accountability. This is a card of saying, eventually, no matter what happens, it all comes back to you at some point. Whatever situation you're in now, regardless of what anybody else does, Regardless of what things happen outside of your control, your life is still your responsibility. So it's kind of like that thing we don't like to hear, like when we're kids from our parents, you know, it's just like, well, they started it. Yeah, but it all falls on you. It's your life, you know, it's your world, it's your personality, it's your personal reality. So no matter what happens, whose fault it is, it all comes back to us anyway. And that's kind of the responsibility. Well, yeah, but you know, that this happened and this happened and this happened. Okay, yeah, it did. And that wasn't your fault, but you still have to take that personal responsibility for life, you know, and that's what you're doing. And I like this fire. It is a pillar of fire, yeah. Now, this is the giant card. This is the untapped power. Sometimes this is the guardian sleeping within, right? And this is the one who's dancing with the tiger. This is the one with and maybe this is a physical thing, because this is someone who has all the energy. This is someone who is up like playing with the kids and the grandkids, like jogging around the block, just has like a surge of energy. And maybe you haven't experienced that yet, but I feel like you will. And it's just like you're going to get up and you're going to want to dance. Okay, I feel like there's such a vital energy returning to you, a youthful, vital energy. And I think you're going to be dancing with the tiger. Now, I feel like there is kind of a restlessness here with this card. I feel like you're channeling that into creative action. You're channeling that into effort. Okay? And I think this is kind of a cycle that really like is going to continue to generate more and more and more energy. This is like perpetual energy here, free energy for you, right? The more you do something, the more energy you have to do it. Of course, you have to nourish yourself and feed yourself and take care of yourself. And that's part of this way forward here. Okay, but taking advantage of these opportunities to expand and push the walls and extend beyond your comfort zone and past your limits is going to continue to reward you with even more, I think, joy, I think, excitement, I think with more of this youthful vitality. This is a risk-taking card. Okay, and the Emperor takes calculated risks. Okay, these two cards aren't very different, really. Okay. Except that the Emperor has sort of learned through experience how to trust their instinct, how to trust their impulsiveness, you know, the ideal Emperor anyway. A shadow side of the Emperor, of course, would be someone who is literally just, you know, acting on impulse and being kind of reckless and careless. But I feel like you have kind of a balance between your discipline, your self-control, your sort of your foresight, your ability to kind of see consequences, and this, you know, very restless, very active, impulsive energy. Okay. I feel like this is really a return. I think this is really what's coming into your life right now. This is like you feel better. You feel like dancing. Yeah. It feels like there's an increase of your energy. And maybe in that Eight of Cups, it's felt like you've had a low energy level. Okay. Maybe the Saturn in Pisces here is kind of saying that for a while there you haven't felt a lot of joy in anything. Or maybe this has been, well, it could all be connected. Maybe you haven't felt like you really connect with things, and you haven't felt a lot of joy in things that you used to find joy doing. That joy has been low. And I feel like also your physical energy has been low. Okay? Because this is kind of like I don't feel good physically, and I'm not able to have fun partaking in life, you know? And I think that the Princess of Wands is kind of a return of some of that. I feel like you're taking the initiative to change that and not just accept this as be like, well, that's just how I am, I guess, right? So you're getting a return of that vitality. You're getting more energy to do the things in life that you want to do. And I think also with the Queen of Cups here, you're going to have a deeper joy and appreciation and love for those things that you're doing. So when we're talking about the Eight of Cups, it feels like there's been a lack of real like connection and real, like that real kind of vital energy. in your life, well, that's all returning to you now. Now, in this future position, this is the image of who you're becoming. This is your higher self, or your ideal form in a way. And this is somebody with a really deep, deep sense of connection and commitment, is deeply enjoying the things that they're doing in life. It's very different than this. Okay? This is someone who is very appreciative. This is somebody who can work hard, but also can relax hard, right? So it feels like this is going to be kind of, this is going to be a pulse for you. It's going to be a push, and it's going to be a pause, and a push and a pause. It's going to be a run and then a rest. And this is kind of that rest card, right? This is double water with this one. And so it feels like this is self-care. It feels like this is self-love. I mean, just in a very real way, this is self-love where there hasn't really been much before. Okay? Maybe this is you not valuing yourself or not really caring much about yourself, kind of letting things fall apart a little bit, kind of letting things go. Well, now we're changing that. There's an increase in your self-love and your kind of like radical self-acceptance. Okay? There is a refreshment and a nourishment here. I think Spirit's trying to tell you that, yeah, you're going to work hard and push the boundaries and push yourself and push the limits, push the walls out. And then you're going to stop and you're going to take care of yourself and you're going to enjoy yourself. Then you're going to take the bubble bath with the burrito and the bowl of ice cream. And you're going to love yourself and treat yourself kindly. You're going to rest. And then guess what? Then you're going to push again. Okay? I feel like we need this kind of water energy in this sort of pattern anyway. Yeah. But I feel like it really is this kind of activity that is going to help you emotionally. And we all know that intense physical activity, now of course consult your doctor and all that stuff, and intentional movement maybe is what we're doing here. But that improves mood. Just getting outside and going for a short walk. You know, that is known to boost your mood and your vitality and make you feel better and make your body feel better and make your mind and your heart feel better too. Your emotions, yeah. And to me, that feels like kind of what we're doing here. We want to feel good in every sense of that phrase. Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, creatively, we want to feel good. We want to feel connected, want to feel love, want to feel joy and happiness, want to feel excitement. Want to feel capable, want to feel powerful. So this is partly that pleasure drive. This is that emotional drive. This is kind of like, this is why. The water cards to me are always the why cards. Like, why are you doing this? Well, because you want something. And so this is where we get that ritual, right? That desire. Write it down and put it near the window. I don't know why near the window. It just came to me. Put it near the window. Okay, maybe to motivate you to go outside and do this, you know. But this is that why. Why are you going to do, what's going to motivate you to do all this activity? Whatever the activity is. I don't know that it's physical or not. It might be. Write down that desire. What is it that you want? I just want to feel happy. I just want to feel good. I just want to dance. I just want to spend time with family. I want to be able to play with my kids. I want to, whatever. I want to travel. I want to be able to ride a bike. You know, I want to get good at that. I want to go outside and I want to be able to, go hiking or swimming or whatever. What is it that you want for you? Okay, not like I want a car or I want $100 or something, but it could be that too. Maybe it is you do want a car. Maybe you do want the $100 or the $1,000,000. Well, then you're going to bust your butt with this pillar of fire to get that. So it could be anything. It could be anything at all. Now let's talk about the path of the serpent. I do want you to subscribe to this channel, become a magic maker. All right, hit the like button if you're ready for this. The universe card is your general energy. This is also your persona. Okay, and this is the way other people might see you. And I feel like it kind of feels like you're a little bit solitary. Okay? Kind of feels like from a distance, people are like going to look at you and think, what are they doing? You know? You seem like you're far away doing something, and people are like, what are they doing over there? I feel like you are inspiring. I feel like this is kind of showing me that people are going to like start getting curious about you, and they're going to start walking closer, and they're going to start looking. They're going to watch you. Maybe you're at the gym. Maybe you're at work. Maybe you're at home. Maybe you're in your office. Maybe you're at the library or at school, and people are like, what are they doing? And I'd be like, oh, they're working, or oh, they're studying, or oh, they're meditating. I don't know, whatever it is. People are going to see you. To me, this feels like the world stage. Yeah. So as the persona, I think people are seeing you as somebody with really big goals. Really big, like you're trying to change the world. Your world, maybe, your personal world, your personal reality. Okay? Trying to change the world around you. Okay? You're the magic maker. A lot of fire, a lot of earth today. You're trying to change the world. Yeah, you have big, big goals the way it looks, but the way you experience it, I don't have big, big goals. I'm not a big, big goal person. What I am is just a bunch of little goals, a bunch of little steps. So this is how you see yourself. This is what your energy is focused on. Just taking the next step. That's it, baby. Just one step at a time. This is the way other people see you. Dang, you just leaped over a building. Okay? So there's the contrast here. This is the more objective view. The way I look at you, you're doing big, big things. You're pushing the walls out. You're raising the roof, all that stuff. Okay? The way you see yourself, I'm just taking one step. I'm not doing anything anybody else couldn't do. Nobody can leap over a building, right? I'm doing it one step at a time. That's how I'm getting over the building. That's how I'm getting up the mountain. People just see you as someone who's accomplishing great things. But you realize that it's just like anybody can take one step. The idea is to keep doing that. It's like you're stacking the wins, okay? Now, in the environment, you have your pressure cooker, your art or temperance card. Sometimes that's the shadow. Sometimes that's the card you avoid, okay? The part of you that's buried in the vault of echoes. It haunts you, it whispers, it wants to be embraced. And, well, sometimes, we avoid the pressure cooker. Why? Well, there's a lot of reasons. Because sometimes we get stuck here. We get chained in this, this old story or this old pattern. It's an 8. It's a figure 8, right? It's an 8 of cups. We keep looping back in on this energy, okay? And it kind of keeps us trapped here. The more I feel, the more I feel physically sick, then the more my heart and mind start to get discouraged, and I start to get more pessimistic. The more discouraged and pessimistic I get, the more I start to feel physically weak. And the more physically weak I get, the more my mind and my heart start. And pretty soon we're just like slumped over, just a lump, okay? And so it's a figure 8. It's a self-perpetuating cycle. So is the fire. Okay, this is going to be a self-perpetuating, fiery generator. Okay, and so the art or temperance card, yeah, sometimes we avoid that, and there's all sorts of reasons why. Okay, why would you avoid? And this is your superpower card. Why would you avoid transformation? Well, I mean, that's a rhetorical question, right? Because it's hard. Because it's scary. Because, it's just, there's something, I don't even know. I'm not that insightful to know why we avoid our own transformation. Because any of us in any given moment intellectually knows, I can change my life anytime I want. Okay, but why don't we? What's stopping us? All sorts of things. Maybe there's too many things to list. Okay? Our past, our present, our future, everything. Our karma, our issues, our complexes, our tendencies, our training, our history, okay, our responsibilities. Maybe you're somebody who says, well, I got a lot of stuff in my life, I got a lot of things going on, I'm a busy person, I got a lot of responsibilities in my life, and so my transformation has to wait. I don't think it's waiting anymore. It's coming out of the shadows, you see, that's why it's here. If it was still in the shadows, guess what? This card would be hidden from us. It wouldn't be in the codex today. It wouldn't be written on this page of the codex. It would still be hidden, but it's coming out of the shadows to show you that, look, it's high time for transformation. You got to get into that pressure cooker. Whatever this is, if this is financial, if this is spiritual, if this is a creative thing, if this is about relationships, if this is about maybe you're going to learn to play guitar, I don't know. Maybe a different instrument for you. Maybe we should stop saying guitar. Maybe you're going to learn the clarinet. You're going to get back to playing the cello, you know. It's time to get in the pressure cooker and let the pressure cooker transform us. Laying ourselves down on the blacksmith's anvil. Of course we don't want to do it. It's going to hurt. You know, we're going to get hammered by something. And then we're going to feel it. You know, but I think at this point there's no other options. Yeah. This is it. This is what we're going. Growth requires that you leave the comfort, even the sort of pessimistic comfort of this. This is comfortable because it's familiar. Okay. I think we're realizing that it's not real comfort, actually. It doesn't actually feel good. Comfort doesn't always mean it's good, right? This feels good. This feels like your body is just well hydrated. Maybe it's Spirit's way of saying just drink more water. Work hard, bust a sweat, and then don't go and drink a bunch of water. And repeat. Repeat that process, okay? Of course, we've got your other superpower card in the position of the mirage. The illusion, the fear that flickers. The obstacle that may not be real, but still has power if you believe in it. Okay? And this is sometimes procrastination. Okay? The queens are always looking at the past. Okay? And the queens are always ready to turn from the past to the future. Well, you got two of them. So the Queen of Cups is really able to look at the past and see all this work that you did and how good that feels now that you can rest. You've earned your repose here. You bust your butt in the gym and then you go home and take your bubble bath, and it makes the bubble bath feel 100 times better than it did when you were over here. When you go to bed at night after this, you've earned that sleep. You've earned that rest, and you're going to sleep so hard. It's going to feel so good. Here, you're sleeping all day. It doesn't feel good. Okay. But after all that, and I'm not just trying to talk about physical fitness. Maybe that's my story because, well, that's what I need to do. This can be anything for you. If you embrace this energy, if you claim this reading, hit the like button if you claim it. Okay. But the procrastination's a real thing, you know, because it requires that we just suddenly start doing something different. And I don't mean to always bring everything back to myself, but I'm just sitting in a room by myself, so I might as well talk about me. You know, I need to start exercising more. Okay, I don't do enough. I have all the excuses. I'm a busy person. I have a lot of responsibilities. I have a lot of things on my plate. And so we get stuck in that loop of just like, this is how it's going to be. Things are never going to change. Things can change at any moment. Any moment we can rip off the old like a Band-Aid and just start doing something. You know, I could just in this very moment, I mean, maybe not while I'm doing a reading, but I can get up and start doing some jumping jacks. I could get on the recumbent bike. I can do some push-ups. You know, I can start running in place or something like that. We can change that at any time we want. And the problem is that we think, well, if I got up and did some jumping jacks right now, who cares? What's 50 jumping jacks? That's not going to do anything. So what's the point of that? It's just, I'm just going to get all sweaty in my work clothes and I'm going to be uncomfortable. And that's not going to make me healthy. Okay? No, because we're expecting it's got to be a big jump over the building. Yeah. But what the secret that you have learned and that you're teaching me through the revelations of the Codex today, you're teaching me that it's those little steps all the time. You do 5 or 10 jumping jacks now, you do 5, 10, 20, or 50 later as well. And then you also do some other things in between, like drinking more water, and then maybe you could do some squats, or you could do some stretches here and there. And you kind of do those little things every day, and you are transforming your life. Okay, that's part of the procrastination, is that we feel like it's got to be just a completely like 90-degree or 180-degree turn, let's say. And suddenly I have to be in the gym for 5 hours a day. Well, I can't do that. And so maybe the Queen of Cups is really the right method here. Because the Queen of Cups is slowly turning from the past to the future. Like this, very slow. Right? Slowly pulling away from the old energy and getting toward the new energy. Processing an ending of something, very slow separation. Whereas the Queen of Wands is just going right to the future. Yeah? And maybe that means the reason why you've been procrastinating, or that why any of us do, is because we're not ready to make that complete, instantaneous 180-degree turn. It's like in The Expanse when where they do like a flip and burn, they'd call it. Have you seen that show? I love that show. They do the flip and burn, you know. And we're not into the flip and burn so much in life. But the Queen of Cups maybe is the right way to do it. Start small. Start with the little steps and slowly build up into, like, now there's really like every spare moment you have, you're doing it. Like I could have some pedals under the desk, and I could be pedaling a bicycle under my desk while I'm doing the tarot readings. Sometimes it feels like I am. But maybe this is that slow, gradual building up. Just, start with one thing. Okay, well, I'm just gonna go for a 5-minute walk once a day. Okay, good. Then I start to feel better. Maybe it's compounding that motivation even. Yeah. Rather than the really just huge instantaneous shift, the overnight change, You won't believe what's about to arrive for you. You have boundless growth available to you. You got to start small, take it slow. Reward yourself. Write down the thing that you desire most and let it motivate you to take those baby steps. The 7 of Pentacles at the end to me feels like the discipline needed to transform our life. This is the destiny. This is the shape of what wants to happen. Something that hasn't been growing wants to grow. Okay? And that's what we have here. These two cards together saying nothing is growing, and I feel like poop about it. Pardon my language. I've been getting into trouble here on YouTube. I don't know if you've noticed that. I've been getting some messages from the watchers there to let me know I need to watch my mouth. This is, an absence of growth, and then of course the pessimism that says things are never going to change. Something wants to change. This wants to grow. You're capable of growth. We got to get rid of this. And then we say, okay, well, this is where I haven't grown. This is where I need to grow. These are my weak spots, my sore spots, my buttons, my triggers, my knots of karma, and I need to work on these things. This is where I don't feel all that strong, or I don't feel like I've really, made progress. So those are the areas I need to work on. This is you in the gym, fighting and wrestling with yourself, with your willpower, and staying motivated and doing it until you just can't do it anymore. Okay, and maybe that's going a little too hard. Maybe that's kind of more of a Queen of Wands energy, that you're building up to that, perhaps. But knowing that even this one little effort, what is a 7 plus an ace? 8 of Pentacles, right? Yeah. 8 of Pentacles is that card of slow and steady growth. It's not big changes, overnight changes, suddenly, wow, it's little by little. Boom, boom, boom. Repetition, refinement, yeah? Craft, honing something. People are going to see it's like, wow, you made, like, you're so different. People are going to see it as like an overnight change, as like this huge goal that you did, major transformation. But you realize it's one step at a time that over months and months, is creating boundless growth. Absolutely extraordinary. I love this reading for you. Both of your superpower cards, I think, is a very good omen as well. Let's look at the mystery card. This reading's getting too long. I've got a lot to do today. I think this might be something beautiful. A 6, a 9, a 10, or an Empress. Or just another Sagittarius card. I don't know. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. And the Codex reveals, of course, it is the 8 of Pentacles, right? The ace plus the 7, the 8 of Pentacles. So, I cut in front of the line, I guess, with Spirit. I should have waited for this card, but sometimes it happened. This is that slow, steady progress. You're refining yourself over and over and over again. People are only going to see the bigger picture. Wow, you went from nothing to everything. Holy cow. And you're going to say, yeah, I did. It took a lot of little baby steps. How do you eat the elephant? One bite at a time. How do you fill the ocean? Right, one drop at a time. And that's what you're doing. And Spirit has given you these opportunities. Here's another minute. What are you going to do with it? Here's another day. What are you going to do with it? Okay. Here's a little tiny bit of free time. On your way to the bathroom, what are you going to do? Oh, maybe I'll army crawl to the bathroom or something, right? Do a little bear crawl or something. Maybe I'll go do that right now. But this is that refinement over the course of time. Paying attention to those details. It's the prudence. It's not expecting miracles overnight. It's, I'm going to push as hard as I can, as often as I can. Start small. Build up gradually until you're pushing to failure every time. And the walls, you're pushing those walls out. You're refining yourself. This is good. I'm very, very impressed. Now, this transmission will continue beyond the gate. In the extended reading, we'll cast an I Ching hexagram, we'll draw from the oracles, we'll open a new cluster of keys from the codex. If you feel called to continue, the path is open. There's a link in the corner, and there's one below the video. New transmissions for Sagittarius Tuesdays and Fridays, so be sure to receive both. Subscribe if you haven't yet. It aligns your signal with the dove current and ensures your next page in the codex will find you. Leave a comment. Let me know where along the spiral road you are watching from. Helps us to map the resonance of the temple. I want you to remember you are the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. The Codex reveals itself through you. I thank you, I love you, and we are all walking this path together.